Well, let's kick off at Manchester United. Dharmesh, significant news on Jadon Sancho. Just bring us up to speed.
Yep, we've got a breakthrough in the past 24 hours in talks between Manchester United and the representatives of Jadon Sancho. We are told agents' fees and personal terms which were holding up Manchester United actually going to Borussia Dortmund and putting in an official bid are now thought not to be a problem. One source has gone as far as to say to me that they're effectively agreed. Agents' fees and personal terms. What is clear, though, is good progress has been made on all sides to overcome those issues. For their part, though, Manchester United remain very resolute in their pay structure. They won't overpay a player given the realities of COVID. But positive news, you'd have to say, as far as Manchester United's pursuit of Jadon Sancho is concerned.
It just shows you, doesn't it, how Manchester United are doing transfer business. We've spoken before about Matt Judge, the chief transfer negotiator, and exactly how they seem to be playing this out. It does seem to be slightly different to other clubs. That is, they get permission from the club, they then discuss the personals, they then agree the agents' fees. Only when they've got an agreement there do they then go back to the club with that formal offer. So given that, Darms, where's this going? What next?
Well, it appears now that the onus is firmly with Manchester United to try and broker a deal with Borussia Dortmund and effectively change Borussia Dortmund's mind, because they've said since August the 10th that once that £108 million was not on the table, which is their valuation of Jadon Sancho, they said Jadon Sancho stays. He's not going to be sold to Manchester United or anyone else. He will remain at Borussia Dortmund for next season. But we are told that Sancho is keen and he is willing to go to Manchester United in this transfer window, despite Dortmund's insistence that he simply is not for sale. What would need to happen for the landscape to change? First of all, United would have to make an official offer, and then Dortmund would likely reject that offer, because they've actually said very, very bluntly, he's not going anywhere. He will be remaining at Borussia Dortmund. So Manchester United, you can offer what you like. That deal simply is not happening. But the landscape can change further if Sancho, off the back of a Manchester United offer, goes to Borussia Dortmund and says, actually, I want to talk to them. I'm keen to go to Manchester United.
And Kavi, in terms of not for sale, that's not won't be sold. We've seen that before, time and again.
Look, it's undeniable that Manchester United have made progress. Three key things. The first one is the player wants to move to Manchester United. Obviously, that's very important. The second thing is personal terms have been agreed in principle. The third thing, agents' fees have been agreed in principle. But the fourth and the most important thing is agreeing the transfer fee. And Borussia Dortmund, first of all, said they wanted £108 million. They set the deadline of August the 10th. That deadline passed. They came out and said in public, he's not for sale, he's our player. And in actual fact, he's got an extra year on his contract. He's got 3 years left. He'll be playing for us next season. So I accept that United have made progress, but the most difficult part of this deal is going to be negotiating a price with Borussia Dortmund, who, by the way, say he's not for sale, if we take what they're saying at face value. What is interesting, yesterday, the European Club Association, their chairman, Andrea Agnelli, he came out, it's the body that represents all the biggest clubs in Europe. He came out and he said, because of COVID-19, the transfer market has been affected and prices are going to drop by 30%. 30%. So if Dortmund are asking £108 million, take 30% off that, and according to the chairman of the European Clubs Association, we should say that Jadon Sancho is worth £72 million in today's market. So my question for you is, can you see a deal happening at £72 million? Because Manchester United have made it clear they're not paying 108. Dortmund have made it clear they're not accepting anything less than 108. So doesn't matter where the player wants to go, doesn't matter about personal terms, doesn't matter about agents' fees. How are we going to sort that problem out?
Borussia Dortmund, for one, have maintained he's not for sale, and they've stuck to that £108 million valuation. There will not be a COVID discount on Jadon Sancho. Manchester United, for obvious reasons, do not want to pay £108 million. They feel that that price is artificial. They felt that the deadline that Borussia Dortmund set was artificial. The way this changes now, though, is if Manchester United make that official offer, I've mentioned this just before, two things need to happen. They need to make the offer, and then Jadon Sancho has to agitate for that move, because that's Borussia Dortmund's out, if you like, if they are to sell Jadon Sancho. They've maintained he's not going anywhere. But if Jadon Sancho makes it clear to them, I want to go to Manchester United, Borussia Dortmund can say to their fans, we said he wasn't going anywhere. We tried everything we could to keep him, and we thought he was happy at Borussia Dortmund. But what can we do if a player does not want to be at our football club? We have to start negotiating with a club that's interested in him. And I think the starting point of their negotiations has been £108 million, and it will continue to be £108 million. And you might get to a situation where you have all of these deals where you hear the initial payment is X amount of million, and the add-ons will take the deal worth X amount of million. So I think Manchester United will try and structure a deal whereby they can get Jadon Sancho, but you'd have to say that to get Jadon Sancho, that structure in that deal would have to add up to around £108 million for Borussia Dortmund to consider it.
I remember speaking to Richard Bevan during lockdown, the chief executive of the League Managers Association, and he said to me that he reckons potentially up to £1 billion could be wiped off the value of transfers once we eventually, hopefully, come out of this coronavirus pandemic. So Jadon Sancho still very much one to watch there, but clearly still plenty more twists and turns still to come.